Welcome back to Buried Treasures. We've uncovered a lot of artistic gems over the years, from Cole Porter's 1937 version of Baby Got Back to Hanna-Barbera's failed pilot, Ayn Rand Mysteries. But our focus tonight may be our greatest find yet. We have for you the original music video to the 1928 version of Ghostbusters. While 1984's Ghostbusters did reach heights unseen for a horror comedy, it wasn't the first film to blend scares and laughs. Phantasm Exterminators debuted hot on the heels of Talkie, the Jazz Singer, after famed producer Hedgewick Steinbloom saw audio's potential for filmmaking.
Hedgewick thought that if we could have the actors say boo instead of just showing it on title cards, that it would be much more effective. And he was right. Ultimately, there were several deaths. Also, if an actor should fall on their tuchus in a scene and the audience could hear it, now that's great comedy. There were all kinds of inventive things going on those days.
Sadly, the film now only exists as a handful of still frames, all negatives having been lost following a studio fire set by Charlie Chaplin and Fatty Arbuckle during a bender in 1932. The film was such a success in the 20s, however, that its legacy never diminished, going on to spawn a slew of imitators. Spectre snuffers, Let's Kill Some Wraiths, and of course, Spook Kickers, which hasn't been available in the American media market since 1978. Though perhaps the most beloved film from this era is 1946's Ghoul Grabbers, which Louis B. Mayer called the kind of picture that reminds you why we fought that damn war. The production ended up $600,000 over budget, and was fraught with numerous on-set problems, not least of which was leading man Rance Hayward's crippling codeine addiction. Additionally, 6 directors oversaw the production, each's tenure coming to an end with a fatal accident. Their deaths, ranging from gunshot wounds to electrocution, were once rumored to be the work of poltergeists, or a crazed Chinese immigrant, but are now more commonly attributed to Spencer Tracy. Despite this, audiences loved the ragtag group of hunters and their zany antics, even if their methods were occasionally crude. Though not all reactions were positive.
They're all crooks, every last one of them. We tried to sue, but the courts were rigged then. And when that monstrosity came out in '84, we tried to sue for the song, but Dan Aykroyd drove my father to the grave. The grave!
Was there any truth to the old man's rantings? Our researchers dispute the claim. Since Phantasm Exterminators was itself based on an 1847 public domain play, while the song's melody dates back centuries, originally appearing under the name The Devil's Jig and ceremoniously played during the original form of ghostbusting, boring a hole in the skull to release pent-up demons. So claims of theft are unfounded, with one notable exception. Following the destruction of Phantasm Exterminators in the studio fire, all that remained was footage of the theme song, ostensibly, the first music video. This footage was believed lost as well during the Nazi occupation of Paris. It wasn't until June of 2014 that the negatives were finally rediscovered in a bunker, still clutched in the hands of its composer who had refused to part with them, and was subsequently entombed by SS soldiers. So now, ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing pleasure, the first public showing in nearly 90 years of the theme to Phantasm Exterminators. Enjoy.
If there's something peculiar in your place of residence, who shall telephone? Phantasm Exterminators. If there's something uncanny and it looks less than pleasant, who shall you telephone? Phantasm Exterminators. I'm not petrified of any apparition. I'm not petrified of any apparition. If you're experiencing vivid fever dreams, who shall you telephone? aberration. As I understand it, this gentleman enjoys the company of the fair sex. I'm not petrified of any aberration. Indeed, 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 indeed. Who shall you telephone? Phantasm Exterminators. If you have grades of various shades, you should telephone Phantasm Exterminators. Permit me to enlighten you. Ejaculating makes me feel pleasant. Who shall you telephone? Phantasm Exterminators.
Oh, spooktacular. We hope you enjoyed this bit of history, and we hope you'll join us next week when we take a look at the original 1952 version of RoboCop, entitled Officer Gearface versus the Mob. It's just awful. We'll see you then.